welcome to Podcast This Escape, the podcast where we talk about the escape room we escaped from in the previous episode of this podcast. Stephen, PG, you did it. Congratulations.
We saved the kingdom, or we did something to that. We destroyed
You stole the kingdom.
Yeah, we stole
You stole
the kingdom.
Right.
Northern territories will be fine.
And
You've
you
just
ma-
taken, you've just given Prince Connor the ability to say, and my boon is I can take your army for my own purposes when I need it. Not against you, you'll be fine. But trust me here.
I'd never betray you. I'd just like to become
I
king of
just
an
wanna be
opposing
king.
power.
Yeah. Well,
By cheating. By cheating the system. I mean, there was a hot moment when I thought we were just going to be stuck standing outside.
yeah, I know.
Now, okay, yes. So it is very funny. I played this recently. I did the play testing of it, and I had the same sort of reaction of like, oh, I know the solution to this. Wait a minute, I don't know the solution to this. Usually it's about two doors, and there's a set
I told
question. We
Bill
all
that
learn
there
the
were
answer.
two guards guarding the gate, and he immediately said, oh, one of them tells the truth and one of them tells lies. And I went, yes.
And yes,
that's exactly what they say.
I think the moment of finding out, wait a minute, I think both these guys are lying to me is very funny.
That's what I was thinking. Like that to me was like my favorite part of that puzzle was like, oh, they're actually just both lying. That was I love that twist.
Because what was great is because you figured out the question. You were like, this is the question where no matter what, I'm pretty sure the answer to this question, no matter who we ask, is going to be no, right? Okay, so what do they say? Yes.
That was great.
What's happened?
Oh, that was spectacular.
I think the other classic when you have as many questions you want, you can just be like, hey, is the sky blue? Nah. Oh, but what about you? Is the sky blue?
But then you might risk just asking one of them and saying, oh, great, so that one's the liar. Now we'll get into the real questions.
True.
That's a
There
very
are so
funny
many.
point, right? There's infinite questions. You don't have to
There
like
are
ask
so
them
many-
perfectly.
Yeah. But there are so many pitfalls that you could encounter.
Because you're right, if you had done it that way, you may have just used it to determine who the liar is and then moved on with your life. So you had a very good question to actually figure out, wait, this whole
Something
system
is
must
wrong.
be broken.
Yeah.
So I was very impressed by that.
And then besides that, that's what you're supposed to do is just randomly guess and try to just keep narrowing it down.
Yeah, you did it. I
You
think.
got there pretty quickly.
Yeah, you went straight
That
to.
was quick.
Yeah, you were like, is it something I can see? Not always. Okay, I might be able to see it. Is it on the ground? Not really, but always could be. And you're like,
Oh,
okay,
that was
but-
a tricky one.
Yeah, is it on the ground? It's like, well, I mean, it's under, like, their shoe is on the ground and the sock
Not
is in the
touching
shoe.
the ground.
And it's not
But
like
your
it-
answers were
it's
very
not-
elegant. Yeah.
Yeah. It was except for the fine where I probably cut it from the episode, but I did have to do a double take where the correct answer I wanted to give was, yes, that's correct, and you're not even close. To try and to say no but that you are close was very
Right,
was very
right.
odd. That one
Yeah.
took a second in my brain to make any sense.
Your enthusiasm at delivering the like yeses, which meant no, was very like you're like every time we're like, oh, you're like there's like a heart like
You've got it.
lifts.
You've got it right. Oh wait.
They got us every time.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Every time I started was like preemptively celebrating, and I was like,
Our
oh.
dopamine systems are just wired to love yes and hate no.
Truly.
A good way to take advantage of it. I'm very glad that I did settle on very quickly. It wasn't like I debated this, that I didn't want to do a one tells the truth and one lies. I always wanted it to be both lie. I'm very glad. It would have been so much harder to keep track of one lying and one telling the truth.
Oh yeah. Also, actually, I have had that before. It's a very fun thing. Sometimes when you play games, especially sometimes like indie games or things like that, this moment of like, there's like noise that is meant to be feedback as you play, but whoever designed it is like has a very different sense. So you hear a sound, you're like, oh, I guess I get that wrong. It's like, no, that's the sound that happens when you get it right. Like, what? That's the sound
exactly.
you've chosen? It's like you like put in an option, it goes dun. You know, oh, so wrong. Like, no, that's like got the finality of correctness.
You also, when we had the dreaded moment of needing to go back to those guards, I enjoyed.
Oh,
I
yes,
enjoyed
yeah.
making you do that.
Well, I hope. I mean, I guess
you
this is
handled
a,
You handled them quickly that time as well.
Yeah, it was very fun. I mean, that was a nice little callback without it being too painful.
Yeah, you've figured out the system at this point.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's going to be a horrible thing. Just saying, what? We just have to get a name?
But
Turns
it's good. You
out-
had a starting point. You go next letter. You went very straight to Jeremy. And
Yeah.
yeah,
That
it
was smart,
very,
PG,
very
just asking
smooth.
like, what's the next letter? Like that. At first I was like, are we going to go through every letter? But like, in fact, there's only 5 of them. So there's like,
Yeah,
or, you
and
know.
like probably doesn't start like JL. So
I really
Yeah.
like being able to go
Is it
also
Jeremy?
a bit more character to it, so we didn't just have to say yes, no, because they're boring. I like being able to say a not even close, you are miles away
Yeah.
to help
Yeah.
you get there. I enjoy doing that.
And there's not that many J guy names.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
in common usage. Okay, so I had a question about getting the coins. Were we always meant to just role play stealing those coins? Was that always your route towards getting them?
That was always my thing. There were probably some other things that, like with the audience, that I probably would have allowed, but in general, I'd cut off communication with them so that you couldn't just ask them questions. So thieving was definitely my first thought. I always
fun. I didn't even think
pictured
about
you
that.
as a sort of weird, underhanded person.
It's also interesting to see the way there's like sometimes these puzzles work in a kind of a feeling of word association almost, because when it was like you see them there, they have money and they're making bets. It's like, okay, cool. Well, how does that work? Well, you know, people were like, you see some money, they bet it, he puts it back in his pocket, they reach into their pocket to take out some more coins to do some more bets. And you're like, pockets, you say? Pockets, eh? It's like, you know, people have pockets, but you just like you say the word and it kind of sits in the air. Like, okay, wait a minute, I know how to get things out of pockets. Picking. But no, it was great. It was very good. It took me ages to kind of get there during the playtest of like, I didn't think I should rob these
That's
people.
good to know. Maybe in my introduction, I should make you even more of a shady figure.
Maybe to be like, you're the kind of guy who loves to pick pockets and help princes.
I would say a skill, because like getting that hint, because everything else, you're so primed for everything else to be a puzzle that you know that you're doing with something that you've acquired, right? And so like I feel like if we had acquired some kind of like fake hand or something, you know,
You know where you can, but you know where else you can put an idea.
Mm.
You could be like when the guards say it's a password, you could go, oh, a password. If it was a key, you know you're talented enough to be able to pick that right out of their pocket and get in. But a password, you're going to
Interesting.
actually have to play their game.
Huh.
And maybe you set up in their head that you are a guy who picks pockets. So later on, you find coins. Allow me to use my
Could be.
skills. So it's a little hints, seeding it in earlier. Maybe
Yeah.
that's a fun place to put it.
There are definitely more ways that I could fit that in. But
that was a sticking point. And then also like the jump to know that we were supposed to cut the carrot.
And
into the
yet,
coins,
you
like-
said that like immediately. You weren't sure if it was right, but it got said super fast. And this
Well,
is.
I was actually joking when I said this
Oh.
has got to be carrots. I
I
was
primed
like-
you. This is why I
Yeah.
primed you beforehand by saying I have dumb solutions to my puzzles.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
I thought of it
but-
a little bit because I thought it was going to be a play on like gold, like 24 carats or so. Like for some reason, that's where I thought this was going towards.
I was
Nice.
just so sure that the carrot was involved with the horse that everything else to me seemed like there's just
I
no
never
way
even
that that's
thought
what
of
the
that,
carrots were.
but yeah, that would
Yeah.
also. I understand that connection.
I love, Tony, that you
Yeah.
introduced the carrot to this game. You're like, oh, I didn't even think that animals eat carrots. I was just thinking that carrots weigh the same as money.
Yeah, the only use of the carrot is as a counterfeit coin.
It's
You
been
know,
odd.
sometimes when you're picturing weight traps and things
Yeah.
that might look like coins, and it's dinner time when you're writing.
And you're eating little circles of carrot.
So, for each of you, what moment made you feel most proud of yourself? And there was a lot for you to feel
Yeah,
proud
I think
of.
both of you have stuff to feel proud of. Do you have a moment that stood out to you?
Well, I mean, I think Steven figured out the taking out the extra letters to get
Yeah, I was,
20.
that was
great.
my one of my I
Not
was proud of
suitable for
that.
jousting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good, Steven, because I was really, I think, I think I was trying to make it harder, or those 8s kind of threw me off. I kept wanting to like do like mirror writing, or you know what I mean, like something weird. I kept turning it upside down. I was looking
Yeah.
for like the 2s, and so like the
Oh.
letters are so obvious.
So those letters were pretty much just me Googling like medieval writing font and then doing my best attempts to copy it. So those are
They look
just
great.
what some old people trying to do old school fonts make their T's look like. And they do look a lot like upside down twos. It looks really suspicious.
You know, we had just recorded last week an episode of PG's Playhouse on the Canterbury Tales. And we talk a little bit about the weird writing, the weird medieval spelling of things. And so I think because I had that in my head, and for doing puzzles, I'm looking at this, I'm like, yup, that's just the flavor of the medieval spelling.
Yep.
Like nothing strange to hear, folks.
Actually,
Like-
originally in the room when we were playtesting it, there was a little bit on the singer's sign that
Just
was
one.
just one thing that was spelled weirdly. Available spelled with a Y instead of the I.
But that did.
And then that made it really, it was too much because we're like, well, no, they do just misspell things. So we got rid of that misspelling so that this was the only place where things were
That would have been
medievally,
confusing.
oddly
Yeah.
spelled.
Absolutely.
exactly.
It was just, I even, as we were doing the playtest, I said, I know that I have to get rid of this. I know that it is bad from a puzzle perspective. The word available just looks like it wants to be spelled with a Y when you're being
Yeah.
medieval.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was very good. You did very. Did you have a moment that made you feel, other than the getting the caution sign, Stephen? Was there anything else that you felt very happy about?
I mean,
PG
it
did
was
very
super
well?
fun. Yeah, well, PG, you just breezed through that. You like the heart of the wind, Prince of
That
the
was
Lion.
beautiful
Yeah,
teamwork.
you're just like you immediately
Oh,
got like what the rubric was there. You were like,
Yeah, well, that's because I've been making all these puzzles for PG's Playhouse, and I had also just done a puzzle where I was making words. It was very racy. I was making words topless. So we were removing letters, the first letter from a word. And so maybe that was just kind of in the top of my mind because those are that's kind of the cryptic thing, right? Like
yeah,
the
it's
head.
classic. It's cryptic crossword construction very much.
It was
in that one.
beautiful. I do like how the word prince is clearly one of those deceptive words where, because you do this in the playtest, you just go, all right, that's the middle letter. And it takes a moment to go, wait, there is no middle letter.
No, there's two middle letters.
Some
Yeah,
words are
that's
like
I totally
that.
threw me. I was like, wait a minute, this is not an odd lettered word.
but that's like a crossword clue. It's like the middle
Yeah.
of and then it'll be two letters. That's a common thing
Yeah,
for
and then
crosswords.
to have also to have the definition as part of the clue that it's all those for construction, and then it means victory. is
Victory.
win.
Yeah, that was
So,
great.
yeah.
That was very elegant. And then I love those ordered puzzles. I've always loved doing those. So that was just like fun. I don't know if we like breezed through it, but it was really fun to do.
Or getting all the horses in place.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
the
I think
logic-
you
the
did. You did
logic
very
puzzle.
well at that. Some
Yeah.
people can get really hung up on logic puzzles and take some time and get very confused. I thought you two did it incredibly well.
Yeah,
Smooth
it
and
seemed
quick.
very comfortable. Anyone will tell you, logic puzzles, I don't know how people who write them professionally do it, because each time it feels like a horrible gamble of, am I giving too much information? Am I giving not enough information? So we ended up in a point where in the playtest, I had given enough information to get everybody except F and E could have been interchangeable. I didn't have the clue about, and not next to L if we can help it.
I was
And-
just gonna say that was my favorite clue. Oh, go. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, so yeah, and so at that point we just went, well, it doesn't matter because all that really matters is identifying Sir J, but we don't know that. When you are doing this puzzle,
Yeah,
that,
you wanna
you're not
get the
going to
full
know that.
solution.
So, and it's going to feel weird if you can't 100% solve it. So now let's come up with a clue that gives F and E positions
But
that
doesn't
definitely
change
doesn't
anything.
give away anything
Like-
else because I don't want to
Yeah.
break this.
If you have a logic puzzle that works at least a little bit, making any adjustment to it is like trying to like add a layer halfway through a house of cards. It's just this feeling of like anything you touch might accidentally break it. Because we're like, oh, you'd say, but not next to this. Like, no, wait, if you put that in, then if you go 3 steps earlier, someone can solve this without needing to do that, and then it breaks everything. And they
And-
just solve it immediately. Okay, we can't say that.
And not
Maybe-
only that, I
It's just-
do all of my pictures in MS Paint. And do you know how hard it is to edit MS Paint text in pictures?
That's crazy.
It's awful.
You need to learn how to use GIMP.
Oh, that was
What I liked
so
about that
much
clue
fun,
in
though.
specific, it was just like the way that it says like not next to L unless if there's any other choice. So you think, oh, it's got to be next to L because you're like just like you have to sort of take that mental leap
Yeah.
with that with just the verbiage there. Like,
And-
oh, but there is another choice. Like so. Like I
Yeah,
love
exactly.
that.
And,
Just
like,
the way that was
Into
phrased.
that option is a way to stop it being so like it stops you making logical conclusions early. It's like not next to
Yeah.
L. Great, so they're not
I
going to
do
be next to L.
find it interesting in
maybe
a
there might
logic
be.
puzzle if there is a clue where you go, I know I cannot use that yet. And then it almost can make you feel good when you've reached the end and it's like, hey, that thing I ignored, now's your time.
Yes. Bring
Yeah,
it back.
totally.
I liked that Night E is not listed on here. You have to
Mm.
just extrapolate that there is a Night E just from
Yes.
the
That threw you
clues.
a little bit as well
Yeah.
on the
That was tricky.
playtest.
But it's fun because so you end up being like, all I know about Night E is they have to be in some pair
exists.
somewhere. So they can't be over there. They can't be up here. Now that we know this is Night P, well, he can't be above it because then he wouldn't be in a pair with F. It is fun. It's this like a secret extra guide.
I also really appreciate we added things like that dialogue about someone's off sick and things like that.
You picked
That
that up
wasn't
straight away,
there
which was really
originally. So
lovely.
the fact that you heard that and you said, great, that means that it's going to be the clean horse and all of that was perfect. That was exactly what we wanted. I'm so happy.
Yeah. it was
Well,
great.
I was looking at this thing. I was thinking, like, why did they give us all this information about the clean and dirty
Mhm.
horses?
Hmm.
And we
Yeah,
hadn't.
why do I care?
Yeah, we hadn't used it in that part of the puzzle, so I was waiting for that to come up somewhere.
Yeah.
No, you're
That
very,
was
you
great.
were very. I think in general as well, the two of you had a very good, very good approach to like hearing things and making note of the correct things. Being able to,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
we know this fact now. It's like, oh, okay. And then when you had moments where you weren't, like from the audience, when you first heard the audience, you didn't get like something quite as solid as that. You're like, oh, well, we know about the night, but is there anything else? Because you felt like there must be something else. That you had a really good sense for the sort of relevant information you were getting. And I think maybe that just comes from experience with puzzles as well, of like, or even like little riddles and things on Survivor of like, what is the point of this? There's lots of
Right.
Steven's a
words,
good-
but
But
But, like,
Steven's a
what can we
good
pull
partner
this down to?
too. Steven, I'll tell you this much. Like after you came on PG's Playhouse, David turned to me and he said, I could see why Steven did really well in Survivor because he was really good at making me feel like we're really a team. Like he
Oh,
made
that's
me,
nice.
you know, like I
That's good.
yes, like he felt like you made him really feel good about the teamwork. Like you would turn
that's
and I asked
awesome.
him what he meant. Like you would turn to him and be like, "What do you think?" Or like, you were really good at like boosting. Oh, good catching that, and like. So
But he did
he's-
mostly
he's-
answer most of them. I mean, to be fair, he really was quite essential to that team.
That's it. I do notice that I'm sure some of it is just the editing, but I do get that vibe on a lot of Survivor seasons of just, no, make them feel like they're making the decision and then they will like you more.
Yeah,
Things
yeah,
like
totally.
that just doesn't seem to come up as much.
Yeah, it's a lost art. So if you guys are interested, I could do one of the puzzles that I had made. I could run the puzzle that I made for
Ooh.
Canterbury Tales.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's
that's fun.
right. If you have a Canterbury puzzle, let's do it. Dan,
I
quickly, Get a
do.
copy
So
of Canterbury Tales. It's over there.
It's not about Canterbury Tales. So the
We're gonna,
episode,
we're gonna get it right. Is it the Chandler? Is it about the Chandler? I think
So
there's a
the
Chandler in that book.
the episode topic is Canterbury Tales, but so the puzzle is kind of inspired by this medieval setting. And this episode has not come out yet on PG's Playhouse. So you guys are
Ooh.
getting a little taste of it here on Escape This Podcast.
Oh.
And so, yeah, and if you like these puzzles, make sure to go check out PG's Playhouse. But this is medieval setting. So a lot of names today come from old medieval occupations, right?
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like
so-
Chandler.
Like exactly, which will come up. So we're starting with level 1. I'm going to tell you a common last name. You might even know people with this last name, and you just tell me what the occupation was.
Great.
So Crocker.
Crocker,
Some kind of
like
pot
plates
maker.
and that sort of thing.
It was a Crocker was a potter or someone who made crocks
Yeah.
and pots.
Yeah.
Crockery, as one might call
Like
it.
Betty
And
Crocker.
we
Like
and now we
Betty
have-
Crocker.
and now we have the word crockpot, which just seems extraneous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What about Brewster? Punky Brewster.
I mean, sounds like they brew, right? Like they make alcohol.
Well, this is I know that this is definitely a thing, but stir specifically as a sort of ending was a more feminized version, so it was probably just
And-
a feminine version of brewer.
And brewing was also a very feminine profession.
It was.
in medieval times.
Yes, you guys are absolutely correct. Both Brewer and Brewster were makers of ale. How about Fletcher?
Oh, I know Fletchers. I've done enough fletching in video games.
Yeah.
someone who makes arrows.
Yeah.
Yes, this is an arrow maker. And then what about Chandler?
Now that's the one. Yeah, that's
Candlin.
candles, isn't it? Is it Chandler
Yes,
candles?
that's a candle maker. How about a porter?
Oh, is that just someone who
Someone who
moves stuff around? Isn't that just, you could be a
doors.
porter now. Right?
Yeah,
Yes, you're
moves-
both right. It was a carrier of goods, but also a gatekeeper.
Hey.
Who always tells lies.
Wagner. What about Wagner?
Writes opera.
Wagoner maybe like drives a wagon.
Yeah, do you reckon
like
they're
a
wagon?
wagoner. I love it.
It's wagon maker or wagon driver, but this is like Germanic Wagner.
Of course.
I believe a
Okay.
wagon maker is also a Wainwright.
They, write all the builders of things. I didn't know that's what
I think a
the Wayne
is a
was.
wagon. So if you hear about Wainwrights, those are also wagon makers.
Hmm.
Ah.
Oh, well, we're moving on to level 2. I'm going to describe the occupation, and now you're going to tell me the first name that comes from that occupation that's
my
still
God, okay.
in
Ooh.
somewhat common usage.
Hmm.
So, what about someone who shoots arrows?
I mean,
Someone who shoots
I would've
arroers.
called an archer. Is
Ar-
Archer a first
Archer?
name?
Yeah.
Archer.
Yeah,
Archer.
okay.
Archer.
Cool.
There's people named Archer.
Yeah.
Totally.
What about a leather maker or leather worker?
Tanner.
Yes, this is a tanner.
Wow, you guys in sync right there. That was great.
Somebody who plays a lyre, maybe a lutist, but somebody who plays a lyre
Ooh.
or a stringed instrument.
Mhm.
We'll just say a stringed instrument.
Luther. would be
Harper.
a harper.
Harper.
I was
Harper.
thinking Luther for like a luthier.
What were you doing?
Luther.
Oh, Luther. That's fun.
Oh. A skilled craftsman who builds with brick and stone.
Mason?
Uh,
Mason, yes.
Boss.
This is Mason. Play a lot of
Is it-
werewolf.
Now, here's a weird cultural thing. I feel like a lot of these, to me, feel like American names. If I
They
think
are like
More
someone-
so.
Mason
Yeah.
and Tanner and what was the one we just had about someone who plays an instrument?
Harper, was it?
Harper.
Mm.
These all feel very American.
Yeah,
to
they're
me.
kind of
They
like
just don't-
contemporary American names too.
Yeah,
They
I
just don't
just-
feel
that's
right
interesting.
without a hard R.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's
Last-
interesting.
Last one in level 2 is a young boy preparing to become a squire and eventually a knight.
A page.
Yes, this is Paige.
Oh,
It's deceiving because
nice.
it's usually like a girl's. We
Yeah.
usually use it as a girl's name.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. In level 3,
Oh.
I will describe a famous celebrity with a medieval occupational last name.
Hmm.
Okay.
Cool.
This man in black works with metal.
Smith.
Will Smith.
Yes, this is Will Smith. When she's not busy fighting aliens, she likes to make tapestries.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney
Oh,
Weaver.
nice.
It's Sigourney Weaver. When he's not singing about how school's out, he's in the back making barrels.
Alice Cooper.
Yes, it's Alice Cooper. He was super at being a bailiff.
Oh my god.
Ah,
Super.
my bailiff,
Corin
or as I
Sweat.
call it, a Corin Sweat.
Yeah. Christopher
Reeve?
Reeve.
Yes,
yeah.
Christopher
yeah.
Reeve.
Really?
Wow, all right.
Yeah, like the Reeves tale. We have the Reeves tale and Canterbury
Oh,
Tales.
I don't know that
Canterbury
one.
Tales. Everyone's always raving in that one.
A Reeve was kind of like a councilman or like a tax collector.
That is
Back in
very
the day.
different from what a Reaver is in most video games.
Yeah, they used
Well,
to
it's
just kill people.
REEV.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one is she played Marla Singer, but probably doesn't want to talk about it. She'd rather be transporting goods by wagon.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh my gosh! Wow, I was just not gonna even try.
I know my Fight Club.
Oh, that is Fight Club.
Yes.
Singer? Yeah.
That was my Canterbury Tales.
That was
game.
That was wonderful. It was
Amazing.
great fun. Clap, 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 clap.
Yeah, so you guys got a sneak peek. That episode probably won't drop until spring.
Well,
Uh,
if there's anything that's going to get our listeners listening to PG's Playhouse, if they don't already, it'll be that.
Yeah, go and check it out. And-
Puzzles, yeah.
And there's if you never listened to PG's Playhouse, there is an episode or two with us on there as well, so you can go and check those out as a good starting point.
And all of the ones without us as well.
And,
Puzzles
Well,
are
On
always
Steven's
good.
episode.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
And
me,
Steven's
yeah.
episode. And now,
Just,
Stephen,
just
could you,
those episodes is enough. That's fine,
could you
right? Like just
read? Could you read for us the section of Escape in which there's like a medieval scene
I was
and
thinking,
the
yeah, you did
joust?
your promo bit. Now
You
it's
know?
my turn.
Where
This
does
is a
the
puzzle.
joust happen in Escape?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, before we get, we're going to do full promos and everything, but I just want to ask one question. This is going to be a connected arc with a few more episodes. Maybe do you have any speculations about, what is going to make this a connected arc? What could
it's
happen?
up in the air, right? So we're thinking that either there's more from this particular heir, or, we know that he's got siblings who are all competing for the throne. So we might see some of them get into the action.
Oh, that's a good thought. We're not going to be following this guy. He's a little bit shady anyway. He totally cheated this win. So I don't know if he should be leading a kingdom.
My father only prizes people's ability to play chess. So we're going to just talk through a game of chess for the next 90 minutes on this episode of Escape This Podcast. Queen to Rook 3.
I mean, yeah, Prince Connor, he was very certain that, what is my father going to value above all else? Oh, it's going to be my prowess in battle.
Yes, I don't know what the other rooms are. So I also, what else might someone think their father expects from an heir?
Well, I gave you in the introduction. I listed a couple of possible.
What were the others?
I was writing it down, but now I can't find it. Yeah.
Stephen was taking copious notes while you were.
Well, I really wanted to, Yeah. Charisma was one of them? Oh no.
You're welcome to come back and play every single one of the games with all of our other guests as well. It will be very difficult to schedule, but hey. Yes, does he want an heir who's charismatic, charitable, tactical?
I mean, I will say this guy was good at finding the right person for the job. See,
absolutely.
It's all about delegating.
Resource management.
Yes, so he was very good at that part.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Well, look, I'm very excited to see what happens for the rest of these 5 parts, right?
Yes.
Ooh, I'm excited. We'll see what happens. I don't know what they're going to want. What's an escape room built around being the most charitable?
That's a good question, isn't it?
Take this ham and give it to all the local orphans, but they don't tell you where they are. Where could all the orphans be? Orphan A is hiding in a red brick house.
I don't know.
But not next to Orphan B.
Maybe in their castle? Yeah.
Find the orphan's castle and give them this ham. Orphans need ham, right? Well, look, thank you so much for coming on and joining us for an episode. It was really lovely to have you. I thought you played really well together, and you made a very enjoyable episode, so I'm sure people really loved listening to it. PG, we were talking about it just earlier. If people wanted to find you online, where should they be looking?
I'm on Instagram. You can find me at PG, my name, PEIHGEE. If you want to check out the podcast, you can just search for them wherever you listen to your podcast. You can go to PG's Playhouse for more puzzles and trivia. And if you're interested in hearing creators talk about making escape rooms or immersive games, LARPs, tabletop games, things like that, you can check out Reality Escape Pod.
Lovely. And then, Stephen, obviously, you can give one last rundown of Escape.
Which I cannot wait to read. Yes. It'll be out by the time this is out, so I will have read it.
And also anything else that you want to direct people's attention to.
Yeah, you can find me in your local bookstore. I'll just be sitting there waiting, staring awkwardly at you as you enter. No, the Escape is available and in bookstores and, of course, online. You can find links at my website, stephenfishbach.com. That's like step hen, Stephen, and then Fishbach, like the composer. So .com. That feels like that was way too complicated. As an
Stephen Fishbach. No, I've got it.
Yeah. And then just on all the social media platforms where I have been relentlessly promoting my book, and hopefully by the time this book podcast is out, I will no longer be doing that. I will be probably hibernating. But it's been really fun talking about it, and hopefully now it will get in people's hands.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Danny. Thank you so much for writing and putting this together.
Thank you for all of your help, Billy, all of your behind the scenes work that nobody sees, and all of your tremendous voice acting.
Oh God!
And singing.
Singing was great.
Those were. I didn't have a tune in my head. I just had some lyrics. That was nice that it came out and sounded like a song. And thank you everybody at home for listening. I hope you enjoyed listening along, and maybe even played the room yourself with some friends. If anybody wants to help support the show, obviously the first and easiest thing you can do is tell people about it. If you know anyone who likes this sort of thing, let them know about the show. Tell people we're a fairly unique podcast, so some people don't even know where the type of thing they're looking for, let alone whether or not they found us. So that definitely helps. You can also support the show through donating. We don't have any ads on the show, and we hopefully won't. So we support the show through donations and crowdfunding. Anybody who signs up for our Patreon at any level can appear as an NPC in one of these rooms. There would have been a few in this one.
Oh, yes, there were.
Danny is trying to find them.
Gotta scroll up. Yes, there were. So huge thanks to Connor Mosley, Walter Falls, and Jeremiah for being our characters in this room.
The best thing about Walter Falls
I know.
is that in this episode,
Walter
Walter falls off his horse. He loses. There's also weekly bonus episodes, including the recordings of the playtest of these rooms, as well as us solving 2-minute mysteries and going through Encyclopedia Brown stories and doing cryptic crosswords and a whole bunch of stuff. There is more for our $10 donors. There's a weekly show where, completely off-brand, but it's a lot of fun. We just recap the TV show Charmed every week. We also have bonus videos for our $10 donors. There's trivia for our $20 donors. There's a whole bunch of fun and cool stuff. And it helps keep this show going and free for everybody who wants to listen to it. So thank you to everybody who signs up to support us there. All right. That's it, everybody.
Thank you to all. A good new year.
A good new year.
We hope.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for having us
Happy New
on. Bye,
Year.
everyone.
This was awesome. Thank you guys.